Martinet, the host of Mario and All.
First of all, let me say, hello, it's me, Mario. Wait there, Brian. I can't wait for my new game. Whoopee! And Mario, how about another day? Yahoo! Wait, I almost forgot. Mommy said say something nice. I said it. And why, Luigi? Everybody cheated me, and I'm always last. And baby Mario, let's go! Yahoo! Hi. Listen, I'm so happy to see you guys here, and I want to say a big thanks to FanX for having me come out here, inviting me to this marvelous city to meet these wonderful Mario fans. You guys, because I happen to be a Mario fan too, so I'm always really, as you know, I'm really grateful to be here. Grateful so much for your joy and enthusiasm. You know, Fan Expo, or FanX I should say, is just the nicest people I've ever encountered. And I've just such wonderful hosts, and everybody's been so incredibly kind and gracious and providing absolutely everything I could possibly want or need or desire. They've just been absolutely spectacular. So please, if you see somebody in a volunteer thing or somebody from FanX, just say thanks from me, and thanks for me, because they've created a marvelous environment for us, and I'm really grateful for that. Of course, I'm very grateful for Nintendo. They have given me so many gifts through the year. It's one thing to play my favorite character in the world, but then to play, the other ones, the and friends groups. It's been just one gift after another for 28, 29 years. So thanks always, of course, to Nintendo. And most of all, thanks to all of you, because you enjoy the games, because you have fun with it. I get to come and meet you and come around the world, and I get to keep making games that I love to make. So that is my biggest thanks is to you. Your joy gives me so much joy. So thank you very much. I live the most wonderful life in the world. I'm an actor, a voice actor, and I came into acting completely by mistake, but I do what I love to do. The one thread I can say is I wanted to be a lawyer, I wanted to be a diplomat, I wanted to be this, and I never wanted to be an actor, but it's what happened because I wanted to be happy. And I'm not saying that everybody would be happy being an actor, but it was the happiness for me. So my wish for you is to find what gives you joy and happiness and gives you a sense of meaning and truth, or whatever it is that you find in life that you love, that you explore your passions and your joys and your fun, and you discover what it is that gives you that joy, because it's a guaranteed thing in life, and I should never say guaranteed, but when you're having a great time, it's contagious. Other people will have fun too, whether it's you're driving the garbage truck. If you're doing it with joy in your heart, that will extend to your generosity, to your spirit of helping and being with people and caring for people, and it will just make a difference in your life and everybody else's life. So that's my wish for you, is find what gives you joy and go for it, and don't let anybody ever say you can't. It's the funniest thing. I did a panel once with an actor, and they said, if you don't want to be an actor, if it's not in your blood, if it doesn't breathe it, then forget it, because it's a miserable profession. It's work and rejection and being told you can't. And I'm sitting over there with my, and on the other hand, it's also yippee! Nintendo calls me up and they go, hey, you want to come and play in our sandbox? We have new toys. And I'm like, yippee! And I run around my house. That's what I do. It's just I have fun. So I but there are artists in history like Rodin, like Picasso, who for them and some of the ballet dancers, it's like for some people, it's like a creative expression is through their pain and the Dark Lady of the Sonnet and things, and that's great. But also, I just encourage everybody, explore joy, explore passion, explore fun, because life is so short. I'm very tall. It's so short. You better be having fun, because if it's just routine from one day to the next, and you're not going, oh wow, thank you for another beautiful day, or oh boy, I'm going to have the best day of my life today. If you're not saying that ever, you got to stop yourself and go, wait a minute, what's it going to take for me to be full of joy and happiness and gratitude and fun? Because those are energies that sustain and then develop and generate. So I'm just rambling on about it, but it is my wish for you all is happiness, each and every one of you. Happiness, joy, and lots of love, because I'm so lucky to have that, all of that in my life. So my wish for all of you. And I never had any intention of being an actor. I had no thought of it whatsoever, but I happen to be a brat, which is a good thing in some ways, because I was at UC Berkeley studying political science with a theory emphasis, and I had the best professor of my life, and I said, I'm writing a thesis with him, I'm doing doctoral work with him, and then I'm going to go work for the US Embassy in Paris. And then I went back in my senior year, last thing to finish things up with the education, and I couldn't get into his class. And so, none of them. And I asked the TAs to shoo me in, nothing. And so I did what a good brat would do. I quit. Right outside their gates. And that was silly, because in those days, education was free. And that's another wish that I wish for all of you. I wish that all student debt disappear. And that beautiful thing and an incredible gift and the most essential gift to give to absolutely everybody. And I really mean a gift. And I'm happy to pay taxes. I'm proud to pay taxes for my great country to help children get a great education and become more of what they can be. So that's my feeling too. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be political, but also I encourage everyone to go out and vote. Be heard, be seen. We are living in this most wonderful free country, and a part of that is the responsibility of freedom is to make your voice heard. So I encourage you, and of course I'm just speaking completely for me, but it's important, whatever your passion is, to be heard and to be seen and to stand up and be counted. But there I was, deciding that I would never be counted again, because I didn't want to do this normal study of political science without that professor. And a friend of mine calls me up and said, hey, if you're taking a quarter off, why don't you come and take an acting class from me? And I think I said something like, oh, Les, thank you so much, but there is no way I could ever stand in front of people and speak. I'm catatonic in a room with 3 people. You know this. He goes, that's why you should take an acting class. I said, no, I'm way too shy. Really, I appreciate it. He says, I'll tell you what, there's a student cafeteria where people are learning to be chefs. Why don't you come and have lunch with me, and then you can come to class, and if you don't want to perform, that's fine. And I said, lunch? He won again. Both of it. And so I said, well, okay, I guess I could come as long as I don't have to do anything. He said, oh yeah, come on. And we went and had lunch. It's like I was discovering Michelin before I got my own tire. And there we go to lunch, and then of course you have to learn a monologue. I learned my monologue like everybody else, and I'm thinking, well, I didn't have to do it. What about lunch tomorrow? And we're going through more people. Everybody's standing up and doing their monologue, and everybody's nervous, and then we go through everybody, and I start sweating because I'm like, uh-oh, what if this is a deception? And I do my disappear behind the seat trick, but he goes, well, Charles, you're up. And I was petrified. I got up like this. I'm walking up there, and I stand up there to start my monologue, and I can feel this foot is shaking like this. So I put my weight on that one, and then this one starts to shake. And I hear this voice inside that I've heard many times in my life. spread your legs apart and put your weight evenly between the two. That's what I did. And then they're both going like this. And I start my monologue, and it's something, the beginning monologue said, my name is Joe, I died a terrible death in the fire in the warehouse, and the corn was popping, and and so, and I start this monologue, and I think I don't know what I said. I think I know what inside I was saying, you're gonna die, you're gonna die, you're gonna die. And outside I was going, and I don't know how I got through the monologue, I don't know what I said, but I reached the end, I'm like, and everyone does the monologue. And I'm standing there sweating still like this. And okay, time for criticism. Yes. How is it that you were the only person among all of us that wasn't nervous? I mean, that was like the biggest shock in my life. That's when the pie hits you in the face, you go, and I don't know why, but that sort of got me excited. So I did more monologues and more scenes. And then the school play was going to be Midsummer Night's Dream, and I was convinced that I could be Oberon. There lies Titania sometime of the night. I'm thinking, oh boy, this is perfect for me. And I go and I do my auditions, every day's auditions. I call them class, I go, Les, I think I got this part. I was really, really, really good. And I watched everybody else. I think I was really, really, really good. He goes, well, Charles, don't count your chickens before they hatch. I'm like, oh, no, you don't understand. I was really, really, really good. So the next day I go up to the casting office, to see the casting board. And I look, there's Oberon and there's not me. And I'm like, well, I certainly got something here. And did I get the guy changing the scenery? Did I get the guy sweeping the, behind the elephant? Nothing. And that wonderful failure is why I'm an actor. Because I don't know why, it just got underneath me. I said, no, I was the best. And so I started studying Stanislavski, I started studying acting, I started everything I could. And I went on speech tournaments, we won the state and the national. And then Berkeley Repertory Theater, professional theater, was coming out to audition for a summer apprenticeship in Berkeley. So I went, and it was right after the school play had closed. And I auditioned with the monologue from Oberon against the guy that had the part. And I won! It's ridiculous, but that's why I'm an actor. So I went to drama school in London, and I came back, I did theater for 10 years, and then I stopped doing the theater because I couldn't stand living in somebody's basement, making $200 a week, in Silicon Valley. And I just wanted to see what else there was in the world, and I wanted to be happy, and I wasn't happy. And a guy calls me and goes, hey, want to come and do an audition for a corporate video? I said, what's a corporate video? He goes, it's a video that's corporate. What do I have to do? Act. Okay. So I just for this corporate video, and I got it. And I paid more than I was making in the theater for a week. And it was like one day like, yippee, and there was good food. And then sure enough, it's like I did another. I was doing 600 of those. And then one day I was doing a TV commercial where I was like the American Gothic, the guy with the pitchfork. I'm standing there doing my American Gothic with sort of lighting everything. We finished that shoot, and the director goes, well, that was great. Listen, do you do a voiceover? I said, sure. And I can't believe it, but I really didn't even know what a voiceover really was. I was like, because to me, Daffy Duck was real. I didn't know there was somebody reading that. I had no idea. So, he goes, well, here, read this. And I said, Argent Supply Hardware, the right item at the right price, right now. And here's more money. I'm a voice actor. Of course, it will come as no surprise at all to you that one day I was doing what voice actors do. Sitting on the beach watching the sun, and reading a book, doing a crossword puzzle, and my pager went off. I'm so old I had pagers. And, it's like, and I'm like, oh, look at that, it's dancing on the sand. Oops, probably not good. So, I leave the beach, I get on the phone, and some friend of mine says, hey, you gotta go crash this audition. And I said, I am a professional actor. I would never crash an audition. Where is it? I have no idea why. I left the beach. I get in the car, I drive downtown, I find a parking space, I walk into the building as the producer and the cameraman are walking out, and I said, "Hi, can I read for this?" And the guy, the bar was right next door. I mean, that's all I'm gonna say. And he goes, all right, come on in. We'll set the camera back up. You're an Italian plumber from Brooklyn named Mario for this company called Nintendo. And I'm like, never heard of it. Okay, and I'm like, okay, yeah. You know, and so make up a voice, make up a video game. You're gonna have these contacts glued to your face for a real-time animation system, and you're gonna see the audience and hear them through hidden camera, here, microphone, but we have no idea whether this is gonna work or not. You know, they'll see Mario, but if it doesn't work, then they'll be seeing you. And so make up a voice, make up a video game, start talking when you run out of things to say, because I'm not gonna pay you to drink coffee all day. Which I don't understand that philosophy. Seems like a perfectly good waging income to me. But, so I said, okay, you know, an Italian plumber from Brooklyn, get out of my face, I'm working here, come on. You know, you know. And I'm thinking to myself, this would not be fun to do all day. And it's negative, which I am a big believer in always being positive in your comedy. And it was also, I wanted to explore something more fun, and lucky for me, I had done Gremio in Taming of the Shrew some 10 years ago in the theater. And I used to guy, talk like this. And I thought, I'll use that voice, and I'll just make up a video. I played waka 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 waka, you know, bong bong beep bong, you know, that was it, you know. And I thought, well, I'll just make up things about food. The theme is consistent, at least, in my life. So you know, I hear action, I'm like, hello, I'm Mario. Let's make a pizza pie together. You go get some sausage, I get some spaghetti. You put spaghetti and sauce in the pizza. And then I taste you the pizza. And if I catch you with the pizza, you gotta eat the pizza. I didn't say stop, so I said, and then you better make a pizza. And I'll bring the spaghetti, you put it in the pizza, you put it in the pizza, and you take the pizza, and if you catch me with the pizza, I'm gonna eat the pizza. And then we're gonna make a lasagna. And we slide down the hill lasagna pan. And then we're gonna make a tortellini. And I think I went through every pasta I knew. And then I started making them up, you know. You should try my tutto palio. It's really great, you know. And I went and I just kept going and going and going. And I was having a great time, you know. And I happened to be a brat, so he said don't stop. So I'm gonna test the waters on that. And I didn't stop until I finally heard, stop talking. There's no more tape. Thank you. I'll be in touch. And I thought, okay, there's the kiss of death. There's the end of it. We'll be in touch means there's the door. Don't let it hit you too hard on your way out. Well, I went back to the beach. I watched this fabulous sunset not over the Golden Gate Bridge, but on the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge. And he got on the phone, he said, called them Nintendo, I found out Mario, I got him. And that was 28 years ago or something like that, 29 years ago, of absolute joy and fun and happiness and running around saying, woo! And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. It's an amazing adventure, but the only thing I knew I wanted to be was happy. And this all came from, and honestly, I used to love to make my mom laugh. I used to watch, every Friday night we watched The Wild Wild West. We watched Batman with my favorite person in the world, Adam West. And, and of course the Jackie Gleason show. And there was a guy in there, he came on and he goes, hi Joe, hello Mr. Donnie. And I would do that and my mom would crack up. And I'm like, touchdown! Now if I had just linked it there, I might have consciously become an actor, but I didn't know what that was. I just thought that was being silly. And that was the beginning of it. So that's where I now hand over the microphone to you. And if you'd like to ask any questions, there is a microphone right there. And if you kind of queue up, or actually you'll have to stand up and talk into it, I think. And it's on, right? If you form a little bit of a line there, and anybody can ask me anything, but I won't answer everything. Because obviously I can't answer things about, projects that are in the future, because I have non-disclosure agreements with Nintendo. But I can talk about anything else. Hi there.
remember me from Gaming Con?
Yes, I do. How are you?
Oh.
You look fabulous today.
I was going to wear my Space Quest 6 outfit. See, that's Roger Welcome.
Yeah,
anyway, before you worked on that Super Mario game, Super Mario 64, tell us again about that experience from working with Sierra Online on the PC game Space
Well,
Quest 6.
I did about 200 other video games in the course of my life. And of course, the one you're talking about too was a great fun, all those projects. Every project I've ever done has been super fun and super joyful. And particularly, of course, my favorite is Mario, because every time I get a message coming to a Mario game, I'm like, yippee! Or Luigi, and so it's just, it's all pure fun for me. And I wish that again for everybody else. Find what gives you joy. Hi there.
Hi, so this isn't Mario related, it's more Skyrim related. I was wondering, had FanX had the opportunity to meet with the Blades face to face, had a heart to heart with them, do you think it would have been possible for him to convince them that he did deserve to live, or how do you think that would have gone down?
That's a very good question. Unfortunately, I'm not a good enough player to ever go that far. So I couldn't tell you. I get as far as the princess is not in this castle. You know what I mean? That's your quality of video play here. I'm very good at doing voices, but not very good at doing things that the voices are supposed to do. I would imagine that FanX was a very convincing dragon. And if he hadn't worked, he would have just opened his mouth and burned him up or something. I don't know. That's a good question, though. I don't know. But I do love that. I love, what brings you to the throat of the world. And that other one, what is better, to be born good or to overcome your evil nature through great effort? I think that was a wonderful thing that's always topical, isn't it?
Oh yeah, FanX is definitely a very inspiring character for me. It's always my favorite moment in Skyrim is to be able to meet him and just have such deep, meaningful conversations with him.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thanks for everybody that dresses up too. That's really fabulous. Can you help her with the microphone? Thank you very much. There you go. Yeah. Whoop. Beautiful. Hey, hi there.
Hi. So another thing for FanX. The dichotomy between the bouncy, joyful Mario characters and then the more serious dragon.
Yeah.
How do you manage to do that?
Well, it's kind of like a carpenter with a nail gun or a screw gun or a hammer or a saw. It's what you train for in an actor. And my thing was, I loved accents and dialects and things like that. And to me, it's acting. It's a great gift to because you have to look inside to find the true meanings of why do I do what I do? And we all do what we do, of course, for love. But we don't always see the clearest path there. So every character has a slight flaw that you have to learn what that is, and you do that by seeing your own, and then loving yourself and forgiving yourself and moving past that stuff to be able to portray that. And for me, it's play. It's meaningful exploration followed by silly play. There was a singer I used to love named Faye Carroll. She's an extraordinary blues singer, and I used to go see her in a club in San Francisco that's gone now for 30 years. But she would sing a blues song, and everyone in the audience would be crying. You couldn't help it. People could barely applaud because it was just so sad. And she'd finish, and the last note from the bass would end out, and then it'd be like silence. And she would finish that blues note, and she'd go, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." She'd just pop in this, and I was like, I didn't know what it was then, but it's acting. It's getting completely involved in what you're doing and then submerging yourself and then coming out of it. And that's what she did. And I think that's what I do. I just jump in and play, swim around, splash around with my toys, and then jump out of the water. I don't think I answered your question at all, did I? How did I end up in the pool? Except I can really see the little green toy. I want a Yoshi pool toy. I can't believe it's not a Yoshi. It'd be fun to hop on the Yoshi and ride him around the pool. not exactly what you asked, though, was it?
Not really. It was a good answer, though.
Yeah, I do love Parthenax. Parthenax is, I mean, what a great character. And I agree, it's like I love the idea of finding meaning in behind things, too. Oh, I'm sorry, little baby. Oh. And sometimes it's not easy being a baby. Yeah, oh, but maybe you'll ask a question. Thank you very much, Galanda.
Thank you.
Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you for playing my game. Cheers. Hi there.
Yes, hello.
You look like Princess Pauline.
It's probably the red. My question is just, it's kind of hard to break into a voice acting career as you've done so successfully, and a lot of people kind of say that they've like happened into it or that it happened to them. What advice would you give maybe an amateur voice actor who wants to go into it more, who wants to get more involved in voice or acting, but like voice acting especially?
You're asking the right person for this because I have absolutely no knowledge of that whatsoever. D. Bradley Baker, who's a magnificent voice talent, made a page, iwanttobeavoiceactor.com, and it's got years of amazing exercises and work and philosophy and ideas. And if you go there and start playing around with that one, Bill Farmer also, the guy that does Goofy, has educational classes that he does online. And Steve Bloom is an amazing voiceover actor. He's got a Guinness Book of World Record for the most video game or video characters of anybody that's ever done it. I mean, he has more characters than Mel Blanc. And he also does online courses. So I would say go to those people, go to people with integrity and values, because there's always that element, it's like, hey, take a voice class from me and make millions of dollars. Don't do anything for the millions of dollars unless it's financial planning for millions of dollars. Do it because you love it and have a great time with it. And every audition is an end in itself. I know that it's supposed to be the most competitive business in the world, and 99% unemployment, blah, blah, blah. But that's consensus reality garbage. The reality is you're you, and this is your beautiful universe. And you go in and you make this an end to itself and bring joy to yourself and a little joy to somebody else. And that's a gorgeous thing to do. It's not just about the money and the success, but the success is finding yourself.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
This is also Skyrim related.
Oh, terrific. Wow, it was a very Skyrim audience.
So I just want to know, just for you personally, Parthenax speaks the dragon tongue a lot. Was it difficult for you learning the language, but also speaking it fluently?
It was hilariously fun. It was kind of semi-phonetically until it wasn't, which was hilarious because we'd be down in the studio and, it was like a TV monitor and the words would come on there, and I'd be like, and then go down to the Garfrugruber. I'd like, Garfrugruber, Garfrugruber. And then the director would come in, I think it's Garfruglager. And then go into the Glarfruglager. Wait a minute, I think we better call the writer. They call the writer, it's like, is it Glarfrugluger or Glarfruglager? It's Glarfruglieger, actually. And by then my brain was like, Glarfruglager, so I would just mess it up a couple more times, then we'd go and have fun, So it was a hilarious script to do. It was a lot of fun and drag. I really admire Bethesda and the people that make a game. I admire everybody that makes a game. I come in and I do 4-hour sessions, 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5 of those. But other people are working for like years to make this happen. Because it's not like a movie where that's a year's project, but it's like you have to, if you go left, if you go right, creative teams working all hours of the night to make it happen. So those are the people I really admire. People that work for a living. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hi.
Hello. I have a question, and it's not serious fully, but what if Mario actually met Parthenax?
Well, he'd probably think it was kind of Yoshi-like, and see if they become friends. Mario becomes friends with everybody, and I'm sure Parthenax would like Mario quite a bit. And it may be in the next, you never can tell, the next time he throws his cappy, who knows? Best way is to walk in somebody else's shoes or dinosaur prints. So, why not? Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm curious on how you came into the roles of Luigi, Wario, and that, like, did Nintendo already have that, like, just kind of lined up for you, or they were, like, casting, or like, hey, Charles, come over here?
You know, I'm not sure exactly how it happened. I can tell you how I came up with the voices. I mean, basically, I can say it's just been one marvelous gift after another for the last 28 years. I walked in the door when we had Mario in real time working, and there was Donkey Kong in real time, and then there was a Wario in real time. It's like, here, do a voice for him. They've just been so loyal and so kind and so loving and giving me so many opportunities to play. And I came up with the voice of Luigi because, you know, we went on these tours around shopping centers and things, a big giant semi-tractor trailer with all these computers in there, and I'd go out there and say, hello, I'm Mario. You know, and kids would say, hey Mario, can I please speak to your brother Luigi? We didn't have a Luigi. You know, and I had all this stuff, you know, on my face glued in there. I looked like Hannibal Lecter, you know, with wiring. You know, and I'd say, well, you know, hang on a second. I think he's a little too shy. Besides, he's in the kitchen making spaghetti meatballs. But I'll ask him. And I'd turn to Luigi. Mario had this back there. Hey, Luigi! And I couldn't move my mouth without moving the mouth. So I'd say, yep, what do you want? Would you come out and say hi to my friend? Oh, no, tell him I'm too shy. Besides, I'm in the kitchen making spaghetti meatballs. Oh, he says he's too shy. Besides, in the kitchen. And I would do this whole monologue. I'll ask my mama, hey, Mama, yes, handsome boy, what do you want? You know, and I had this whole world inside the TV set, and invariably I'd look at these children, and they'd be like this. Looking for where these people were that I was talking to. But that's how I did the Luigi voice. And so one day I went in and it's like, there's Luigi, do Luigi. I go in for Mario Tennis and there's, you know? So I put a voice to that, you know, and I always try to make a voice that is without harm to people, you know, the most grumpy thing, the comedy always comes backwards. When I was in my first acting class, there was a guy with a very pronounced stutter. And I asked him, you know, being young, you ask people questions you shouldn't ask. Have you always had this stutter? And, you know, and he said, you know, no. On my 21st birthday, my friends took me to Las Vegas for a comedian, and we had a dinner supper, and we're watching this comedian, and he was an old comedian that just insulted everybody. That's what he did. That was his shtick, you know. And he said, we're eating dinner, and the dessert comes, and the lights come on the table, and you know, and it's on my table, and it's like, stay, you know, we got a birthday kid here, stand up, you know, and he said, I stood up, and the guy started doing negative comment at me. Look at that fat, ugly kid, look at that pimply face kid, oh boy, I bet your mom's sorry he had you. And, you know, and each time the insult would come, the audience would laugh bigger and bigger. And he said, I felt smaller and smaller, and I was so ashamed. I wanted to run away, but there was nowhere to run, you know. And I woke up the next day with a stutter, and I've had it ever since. And you know, that to me was the mark, you know. Never make fun at somebody else's expense. Because, boy, oh boy, the impact that you have is so gigantic when you're doing something silly as comedy. You know, it's like I'm being paid to be silly, but if I take it the wrong way, or I give it the wrong way, or give it the wrong meaning, then you can really hurt people. So for me, all my characters are always silly, but they always come back on themselves, even the evil ones or the naughty ones, you know. And I like to play with it, like Waluigi is the negative emotion of self-pity, which is very, very, very mean emotion. I feel sorry for myself, so I can punish everybody else, and like martyrdom. It's like, it can be a very hostile energy, but if you play with it in a silly way, it's like, hey, what about me? You know, then it's like, there's something to laugh at, as we have to laugh, all of us at ourselves, you know, really, a little bit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Charles. Sorry, I'm just kind of choked up. I know I've met kind of before, but still, you know, you're a big name.
Oh, thank you.
Recently, before Con, Nintendo released the downloadable content with Banjo and Kazooie from the N64 era. How do you feel that Mario and co get to finally fight it out with another N64 platform?
Yippee! It's all so great, you know. I'm so lucky because I'm just a voice actor. I could not even imagine making. People say to me often, it's like, "What would you do to make a game?" I'm like, I'll go, woo, I'll play what I do, you know. Spanish have an expression, zapatero a sus zapatos, shoemaker makes shoes, and that's what I do. I have no idea, but anything that brings joy to people, I'm sign me up for that. It's great. And I love Mario and Sonic at the Olympics too. Thank you.
Thank you
very much. Cheers. Hi.
So I was wondering, in the Mario and Luigi RPG series, you know, the ones with like Bowser's Inside Story and stuff like that, how did you come up with the like Italian that they do, like the gibberish that they do?
You know, it's just a lot of stuff racking around in there. I don't know what it is. I had these wonderful experiences. Is that 5 minutes left? So I gotta stop. Blah, 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 blah. I helped raise 3 little girls that I adore, and each one of them had their own expressions, and I built the Italian language in there around little things that they might say, that only I know what they are, and now I'm older by 15 years, and I can't remember even what most of those are. But it was just having fun, you know, that's what I do, it's silly. Thank you very much. I'm going to try to answer faster. I hope I can get to everybody.
Sounds good. So Mario has a lot of appearances. He says a lot of yahoos a lot. How do you make those yahoos fresh as you keep doing them over and over again?
You know, I have more love for that character than I've ever thought possible. And so for me, it's always fresh. And when someone, you know, when I do the voice and I see somebody smile, or I see a little child dance away, it gives me, it refreshes all the joy for the next 1,000 years. Yeah, thank you. Hello! Speaking of lady Beatles.
So my question is, with Mario and Luigi and Nintendo, that's so children-esque, and then all of a sudden you're doing the voice of Parthenos. How did you land that role since it's not even Nintendo?
You know, it used to be in the old days you'd go and read with a bunch of people. Nowadays they send you a script on the email and you plug your microphone into the computer and you go, what brings you to the throne of the world? And they go, yeah, I like that, you're that. And that's all it is, you know, it's just, you know. But it's like an actor is like kind of like a carpenter, you know, here's a screw gun, you know, here's a nail gun, you know, that's what you do. But for the good thing is it's like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And thank you for bringing your babies, and thank you for dressing up too. You guys look so terrific. Yippee! Hi.
Hello. Hey, sorry, I got you.
I love it.
So, is there some accent that you're really good at that you haven't had the chance to use in the game yet?
That's a very good question. I know I'm really terrible at South African accents. You know, I think I have, because I did used to do something like Grossology. I did 23 characters, and there are 14 characters and different things. I did alarm clocks playing, you know, all the different voices. I think I'm complete. I just don't want to die. I just want to live.
Please don't die.
And I'm having so much fun. I'm having so much fun. It's, you know, I found out what it's for. Fun.
That's awesome. You're inspiring.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Nice hat, bro.
Well, Mario has really helped me get through a lot of difficult times in my life. And clearly, you know, I've played the game since I was little. Sunshine was my favorite, my first. Do you have a favorite Mario game?
I love everyone. I've done 105 of them. I have a world record of Guinness for 100+ games. I love Odyssey. It's really, really great for me. But of course, you know, Mario 64, Sunshine, Galaxy series, the kart series, the party series. It's all like, yippee! Thank you very much. And I hope your hard times are through. I mean, we all experience ups and downs, but there's always good in the end. Hi.
Hi.
Goku.
Yeah. So with like Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi, did Nintendo like give you any like set specifics, like accent or anything, or did they?
No, you know, they give me a kind of a blank slate, and then they say, well, this character is like this and like this and like this. Have fun, and I do. It really is so marvelous. They've just been so generous in giving me things to do and things to play. It's really been 29 years or 28 years of absolute joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks for dressing up. I love cosplay. It's so fun. Look, there's a Wario. Yay! Hi, buddy. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I remember meeting you yesterday at a photo op.
Yeah.
Dressed as Toad.
Yeah. Fantastic. You were great.
Yeah, thanks. So, my question was, do you ever think about doing a voice for a third Mario brother?
Oh, that's a good question. I never think about it, but they did let me do like Metal Mario, and the Wario had a little alter self too. So whenever they give me a chance, I'm gonna go, yippee! And do it. Thank you, that was a wonderful question. And thank you so much for playing my games.
I love that voice line.
Thank you.
Sorry, she looks like she's giving us the signal.
Can we just have one more little question? There's a small person right there.
One more.
Okay, I'm sorry the two of you in the behind, but we have one more question. And you can come to my table and ask me those questions later.
So
Yes.
I was wondering where you think you would be if you didn't go to the audition.
Oh, that's a wonderful question. I would have probably ended up moving to Hollywood to try to get into sitcoms and done the pilot seasons and done that sort of thing. You know, I could have done that, or I'll just keep doing more videos, and then, I don't know, that's a really great question. It is amazing though, isn't it, like how life goes. We're all on a trajectory path, and you know, as you become an adult, life speeds up, and it's like driving on a salt flat. The faster you go, the smaller the turn, the bigger the change in your life, you know? That's a lovely question, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to go back to my table in a few minutes and I'm there to sign autographs and take pictures, and please feel free to come by and say hi and, do whatever we like. Thank you very much. And thank you very much.